If everyone jumped off of a bridge, would you jump off of a bridge? It seems like everybody's moving to Florida right now. And if you are, you should definitely consider one of these 7 cities along the beautiful Florida Panhandle Beaches. This video is intended to give you a very clear picture and understanding of our very unique and beautiful area. I have also included a wealth of information on 7 of the main cities along the Emerald Coast for you to choose from should you move here. It will all depend on your specific needs and expectations. The Florida Panhandle Beaches have definitely gained more and more recognition over the recent years, but I think comparatively, we are still not quite as tapped into as many other popular beach destinations, and most of the cities along the Emerald Coast have become true working living communities. If waterfront living is your dream like mine, you can live on many different types of water in this area, and in all of the cities that I'm mentioning in this video, you have at least one of these options. The first type of body of water I'm going to mention is the bay. You have the open bay, there's the Choctawhatchee Bay, East Bay, and Pensacola Bay, and it is just that. It is the open bay, and they are typically brackish water. Then you have bayous, which are off of your bays. It's like a bayou off the bay. There's still water flow through there, and it's more protected, it's deeper, so that when the storms do come through, you anchor out your boat in the bayou and cross your fingers and pray to God that it's still there when you get back. Then off the bayous, you have the canals, which you can still live on a canal. It is still considered waterfront, and most of them in this area, you can still get a dock back there and a boat back there, and then get out to the open bay and into the Gulf. Speaking of the Gulf, we have the Gulf of Mexico. It's absolutely beautiful. We have the emerald green waters and the white sandy beaches. It is why we are so popular and why people visit here and move here all the time. We have the pass. Here in Destin, Florida, we have the pass. Pass isn't anywhere else. We have a man-made pass that opens up from the Gulf of Mexico into the bay. And so when you have high tide, that gorgeous emerald green water flows into the bay, and we have the very popular area, which is called Crab Island. You can live on the pass in condos when you have the view of the pass and the Gulf typically in that situation. And then we have the Sound. We call it the Sound, but it's the Intercoastal Waterway, and that runs down the length of Mary, Esther, Florida, and Navarre. Just going to touch base on the different types of property we have here for people to live in. It is unique in the sense that there are so many different types of properties, and because we do have visitors in most of the cities that I'm mentioning, you do have rentals. So there are properties that you can buy that are in a short-term rental zone, which means they can be rented out for the weekend, for the week, for a couple days, for one day. It really just depends on the property itself. So when you're looking at properties, you want to keep this in mind. If you don't want to be in a short-term rental area, that needs to be conveyed. If you are okay with it, that's good too. But again, definitely something to keep in mind, specifically when you're looking at Pensacola Beach, Navarre, Fort Walton Beach Island, and Destin. I am going to start diving into this wealth of information about the cities that I have chosen for you all along the Emerald Coast. If you have questions, contact me and I can answer any question that was not answered in this video. Starting with Gulf Breeze, Florida. The population in Gulf Breeze right now is around 6,410, and it is considered a suburb of Pensacola, Florida. Just east of Gulf Breeze, you have Navarre Beach, Florida, or Navarre. It is considered a bedroom community. It has been growing significantly over the years. A lot of our military live here in this area. I was so shocked when I read this number, but their population right now is ringing in at 42,000 or approximately 42,000. Again, shock. New construction. If you really are into new construction and you don't mind that drive, Navarre is going to be one of the places to go for that. I'm going to talk about some numbers for Gulf Breeze and Navarre combined, because that is how it is in our MLS. They combine them together. Keep in mind that these are numbers for today. They could change at any given moment. Starting with Gulf Breeze and Navarre, there's about 222 active listings today. For single family residents, we have about 170 active listings today. If you want want bayfront, you're looking at anywhere from 700,000 to a little over $1 million. If you want Gulffront, you're looking anywhere from $2 million to $5 million. You can get Gulffront on Navarre Beach. And then if you're looking at, if you're talking about starter homes, you can come in starting around 300,000. Obviously, depending on the size of the home, the location of the home, the exclusivity of the neighborhood, those prices are going to go up higher and higher and higher. For condos in these two areas, there's about 33 active listings. You can start getting into condos around in the 500s. It does go up over 2 million. And again, this is going to depend on location, size, is it on the water, amenities, and so forth. And that's about the same for an attached single family, which would be something like a townhome, patio home, duplex, something like that. Just east of Navarre, you run into Mary Esther, Florida, which also runs into Fort Walton Beach. I would say they're kind of one and the same. They have about 3,851 people or population. Again, it's a small community. It runs into Fort Walton Beach. You can live on the water in Mary Esther, Florida. You would be living on the Sound or what is the Intercoastal Waterway. So it's like living on the bay. In the city of Mary Esther, there's about 18 active listings for single family residents. And in this part of Fort Walton Beach, you're going to get into a traditional home anywhere from like 250,000 to 500,000. Again, that is, the price points there. It's going to depend on location, size, exclusivity. If you're looking at a home on the water, an actual home, it's going to be in the millions. Right now, the active single family residence on the water is anywhere from 3 to 5 million. I know you can get some for less. I don't think you would pay more than 5 million. These are numbers for today. There are some condos along the Intercoastal Waterway running through Mary Esther. There are a couple active listings right now, around 200,000. Those are both 1-bedroom listings. I would say the most you're going to pay for those condos along the Intercoastal Waterway would be 350,000. That could vary depending on, again, the size and exactly which condo it is. Fort Walton Beach, east of Pensacola, is one of the principal cities in this area of the Florida Panhandle Beaches. And right now, the population in Fort Walton Beach is about 20,922 people. Again, it is one of the principal cities in the area. Talking about listings in the Fort Walton Beach area. Moving into a traditional home in Fort Walton, it's going to be anywhere from like 350,000 to 600,000. Again, that's going to vary depending on size, location, and exclusivity. Waterfront, you're looking at anywhere from 1.5 million to 5 million. You can live on the bay, a canal, a bayou, and the Gulf in this area. If you're looking at condos or attached single family residence, you're looking at entry level price point of around 300,000. It can go upwards in the millions as well. It's going to depend on whether or not it's on the water. And again, is it a 1-bedroom? Is it a 3-bedroom? Is it an exclusive neighborhood, or is it in a more traditional neighborhood in Fort Walton Beach? Niceville, Florida is northeast of Fort Walton Beach. Their population right now is around just a little over 16,000, which they are growing significantly as well. It is considered a bedroom community. You can still get some pretty good new construction in Niceville. They have a little bit more room to expand than Fort Walton Beach, Mary Esther, and Destin. Looking at single family residents in Niceville, there are some right now that you can get into very entry level for around 300,000 plus. Their standard prices for a more traditional home are around $500,000 to $700,000. Again, that could go up or down based on everything that I've been mentioning: location, size, exclusivity. Waterfront right now, they have about 2 waterfront listings, and they're both around 2 million. You can pay less for waterfront in Niceville, or you could end up paying more than 2 million for waterfront in Niceville. I do not think it would go more than 3.5 to 5 million. Waterfront in Niceville, you're looking at bay, bayou, or canal. Destin, Florida, my favorite place along the Emerald Coast. I live in Destin, Florida. I grew up in the area. I love being on the water, so my heart is here. Population in Destin, Florida right now is just over 14,000 people. However, we have more than 4.5 million visitors each and every year. That is a real number. It is another principal city in the area. As far as the cities along the Emerald Coast that do thrive on tourism, Destin is going to be top of the numbers for visitors in the area. Again, you're looking at Navarre Beach, which the beach is kind of separated from the city itself. You're looking at Fort Walton Beach Island, again, separated from the city itself. Destin is Destin. You live in Destin, you hang out with the tourists. That's just the way it is. I am throwing Freeport, Florida in the mix. It is a new and upcoming area. If you want new construction, this could be your best bet. The population of Freeport at this time is just over 6,500. Again, it's up and coming, lots of new growth commercially and residentially. So Freeport is gonna be a good place to look. They've got the 331 bridge that goes down to the beach. So you're like a 10 to 15 minute drive to the beach depending on day, time, and time of year. Looking at single family residence in Freeport, you can get into a new home or existing home in the 400s here, which are mostly looking at anywhere from $500,000 to $700,000. Again, that's gonna vary depending on the things that I've been talking about. Waterfront in Freeport, you can be on the bay, the bayou, or the canal, and that's running anywhere from 1 to 1.5 million right now. There are some that are a little higher priced and there are a little lower priced. They don't really have condos in Freeport, but there are some attached single family residents, which I believe we're gonna just call them townhomes at this point. The verandas, different phases, a lot of it's new, and you can get in for around 300,000, a little less, a little more, depending on how new it is, how many bedrooms, and so forth. If you're interested in relocating to the beautiful Florida Panhandle Beaches, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We are so happy to help in any way that we can. Check out our YouTube channel, Beach Living with Jen and Steph. We have a ton of information there. It's all for you, and we will see you next Thursday. Bye.